Hello, this is Dr. Robert Bates at the Concussion Center of Fitchburg. I am also the co-owner and founder of Ocular Integration Systems, which has a web-based application to allow a lot of home treatment for ocular motor dysfunction. The question we are going to answer today is, who should you see if you've had concussion or you want to be evaluated because you think you might have symptoms of concussion? The answer is quite simple, actually. You need to see someone that has the education and has the experience to be able to look for things and find them when there is concussion which is present. I have a board certification in chiropractic neurology. I was a chiropractor and graduated pre-med from Clark University biology major previous to this. I've read research and wrote articles and have written 4 books over the last several decades. Recently, over the last 3 years, I have gone through a 1-year fellowship in vestibular rehabilitation and another 1-year fellowship in mild traumatic brain injury. So I have the education to diagnose these problems, and I have the experience to make sure I don't miss something. Secondly, what is needed is some of the new research has shown that there is equipment that is very necessary if you want to specifically diagnose concussion. One of the pieces of equipment is an infrared eye tracking system, and I use the particular device made by Right Eyes, excuse me, which gives us hundreds of different metrics for eye function. And we know in the literature that even a very mild concussion shows some abnormality of eye function because approximately 80% of the brain has something to do with eye function. We integrate from the cerebellum, from the midbrain, from the frontal lobe, from the parietal lobes. Different places in the brain have to do with the metrics of eye function, the latency of eye function, the speed of eye function, the accuracy of whether it's hypo or hyper type movement, the disparity between eyes. There are different places that control saccade activity, moving from A to B versus visual pursuit following an object. We also have the ability to gaze hold, which has to do with other parts of the brain, with retinal slip firing pathways. But all of this must be understood if you are going to evaluate ocular motor function. We also have equipment for computerized balance testing, which helps us discern between ocular, somatosensory, body, and neck, as well as vestibular system, by looking at different scenarios for balance, whether we use the eyes and the neck and the body and the ears together, or we can limit one system by closing the eyes, being on soft padding, and so forth, so we can see which system is more abnormal. We also have many other types of devices, a rotary chair to look at what happens with the eyes in nystagmus, post-rotatory and rotatory, how long it lasts after, and so forth. We have subjective visual vertical activity that we evaluate. We have a very, very thorough orthopedic neurologic evaluation, which looks at neck function and body function, as well as many different brain functions. One of the new applications we have is for pupillary light response, which gives us 8 different metrics for the response of light to the pupil. And it's a balance of sympathetic parasympathetic activity. We also check in several other ways for dysautonomia. And our exam is always different with patients because there are so many things we can do. As we start an exam, we may go down one road in relation to another, depending on the abnormalities we begin to see. Since there are many, many different brain functions that can be involved in concussion, and we have to categorize the patients into various subtypes of concussion so that we know what we should do to create plasticity exercises. So what you need, as I said before, is someone that has seen a lot of concussion, knows what they're looking at, knows what to look for, and has the equipment to really prove specifically what they think they see in exam and other things that are shown in the very specific high-tech testing. After we have all of this information, the patients are given very specific activities, many different types of activities depending on what we found. I can honestly say that of the hundreds and hundreds of patients I have worked up for concussion, no two patients have ever received the same treatment. And if you have gone to one of the local areas that don't do much of an exam, they don't have any high-tech equipment to test specifically what your abnormalities are, and you are doing 20-year-old therapy for vestibular or ocular therapy, then you are not getting really what you could get, and we see these patients all the time. If you would like more information, you can go to my website, concussioncenteroffitchburg.com, and get much more information, or you can call me directly if you have a question at 978-368-1010. If I do not answer, I will get back to you when time permits. Otherwise, have a great day.